All right, we're live. You have to pardon me, I'm 2 minutes late. Welcome. I have a few things. I won't be too long. Well, I'll try not to be too long. It might uh, it might be prolonged if it has to be. Oh well. But I want to talk about a few things on this live stream. Some of you are aware. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got a decent crowd already. Some of you are aware that this is Dog Bite Awareness Week. Okay? Dog Bite Awareness Week. Now, I don't like this title. You hear the same thing when a child is mauled or mutilated. They will call it a dog bite, as if the dog simply bit the child and then that was the end of the attack. No, it's not Dog Bite Awareness Week. It's Dog Attack Awareness Week. These are prolonged attacks. They're not just a nip and that's the end of it. These people make me sick. How they always try to minimize dog attacks. And they do this every opportunity they get. I'm telling you, they bend over backwards. They work diligently to minimize dog. It is so sickening, and I'm sick of how these mutts are pampered and protected by people in this society. It's very sickening. We have to start calling this out. Now, you see the title of this stream, and you're going to have to forgive me because as I started to brainstorm for titles, I said this title out loud and it just made me feel better. It made me feel better. And honestly, this is what I want. I want a dog culling in the United States. When I read about these dog cullings in other countries, I get a sense of jealousy. I'm jealous of these countries. And it's unfortunate when you consider all the attacks. It's unfortunate that we don't even think about dog culling. Yes, these mutants are a plague. They are an infestation to our planet and communities. And they should be culled. There should be a global culling of these mutants. Now, those of you who keep up with dog attacks, you should be appalled at how consistent these reports surface of kids, babies being mutilated by a worthless mutt, only to have the authorities talk about how it was an accident and we don't know what's going to happen to the dog. Like I said in the previous live stream, humans are the only species that do that negotiate. When their young are attacked by a predator. I mean, other organisms don't even allow predators around their young, let alone attack them. But if they did attack them, let me tell you something. Wild animals are so protective that an attack on their young will burn into their memory for the rest of their life. A young lion, for example, could witness his young get killed by some other predator, and I'm telling you, 10 years later, it will still remember that attack, and it will still attack the animal that killed its young. Humans, only humans, are dumb enough to bring predators around their youth and then to protect the predator's existence and well-being after the predator launches an attack on their youth. You cannot make this stuff up. Now, when we're dealing with dog lovers, we got to keep in mind we're dealing with a group of people who are out of their minds. These people are plumb nuts. There's no way around it. Now, it does not mean that they cannot recover, that they cannot wake up. They most certainly can. But as of right now, as the dog nuts that they are completely insane. These are a group of sociopaths who don't care about themselves or anybody else on this planet, and they actually get off on endangering themselves and others, and they get off on putting kids in danger. Trust me, they get a rush out of leaving their kids alone with dogs. That's why they get so excited. They want to grab a camera and take a picture. They want to record it, pull out their phone, and upload it to social media. They get off on sacrificing their kids. And like I said, and I continue to say, this is a child sacrificial cult that's carried out in public. And these people have absolutely no shame about it. So we're going to continue to apply the pressure on these lunatics because their idiocy, their insanity is growing now that the summer is here. And you see them out with their nasty, mutated, brainless mutts. They're out everywhere. And I did not know that this was Dog Bite Awareness Week. Right? I just found out earlier today. Now, it started yesterday, and it will last all the way through the 18th. Now, I don't like the whole concept. What do you mean, Dog Bite Awareness Week? So you only want to take 1 week to acknowledge something that happens every single day? Over 2,000 people bitten every day, and you want 1 week to acknowledge that? I don't think so. I don't think so. We're going to have Dog Attack Awareness Year, and it resets every year, right? Until these things no longer exist on this planet, we need to be aware of the fact that they are waging war on us as a species. The human species is under attack, constant attack, by the very mutants that they feed and take care of and create laws to support and protect. Right? So we need to smarten up. Now, at the forefront of this Awareness Week are the Postal Service workers. Right? As we all know, they have to deal with a lot of attacks. There's no way I could be a postal worker. In fact, my sister sort of suggested that we start our own business. And her business idea was to own and operate a FedEx truck or delivery service. And I personally would never do that. Because of this nasty, dangerous, disgusting culture, I refuse to go up to random people's homes. I refuse. Like I said, I don't go over people's homes anymore. I don't visit people anymore. But Postal Service workers are constantly under attack. And I don't like the way they word these stupid articles. This one says that the USPS released a dog attack national rankings. Basically, which cities have the most dog attacks. From nips and bites to vicious attacks, aggressive dog behavior poses a serious threat to postal employees and the general public. Now, see, I don't like it. See, aggressive dog behavior. Just say dogs. From nips and bites to various attacks, dogs pose a serious threat to postal employees and the general public. Now, right there, you have to stop and soak that in. You have to take that in, because we're talking about so-called man's best friend. We're talking about a creature that's promoted to children as the best friend of children, as the perfect match for children. They put these things in cartoons and kids shows all the time, trying to get kids to view them as harmless. It's one of the reasons so many kids are attacked, because they are brainwashed by this dangerous propaganda, and then unsupervised they go up to a mutt and they get attacked. If these things are a serious threat to the general public, then they have no business being promoted to children. And they have no business in our communities at all. Anything else that poses a serious threat to the general public would be removed from the general public. That's exactly why you can't just own a lion, right? That zoo worker, he released a bunch of wild animals. He was a bunch of tigers, lions, bears, and the police department shot those animals on sight, killed them all. So if you're going to treat those animals like that, you need to treat dogs the same way. Right? So that's a problem. These people, they tell on themselves all the time. And here they just admitted dogs are a serious threat to postal workers and the general public. They say if a carrier delivers mail or packages to your front door, place your dog in a separate room. Now, we talked about this before already. These things are so vicious and wild, aggressive, that they tell you to put the mutt in an entirely different room. Basically, lock it in a bedroom. Then answer the door. So again, they tell on themselves. They really articulate how much these things don't belong in our society whenever they talk about these things. So they want you to put the mutt in a different room and close that door before you open the front door. Parents should remind their children and other family members not to take mail directly from carriers in the presence of the mutt, as the mutt will view that as a threatening gesture. Here we talked about this before already, and here we dealing with how deranged the mind of dogs are. Totally unstable. This is solid proof that these things have very dysfunctional brains, extremely dysfunctional, dangerous. They're permanently brain damaged. Right? They've already admitted these things have a dysfunctional frontal lobe. Frontal lobe. We have no business catering to brain damaged creatures, trying to treat them like family members. This is insanity. Right? Make sure your dog is properly restrained on a leash away from where your mail carrier is delivering the mail. these mail carriers need to carry serious protection. Not no pepper spray, not no stun gun. If these people cannot carry real weapons, then they should find another occupation, right? This is not a safe thing to do. Dog nuts get off on letting their mutts run around off leash. Off leash. These are a bunch of lunatics. And we have to always be mindful of that. And this is routine. Mutts off leash. And some of these things are kind of weird. Some of these articles are kind of strange to me. This one, for example, look at how they worded this. And this is the Detroit Free Press. In dog attack, could you protect yourself, child? These little known facts could save you. What? In dog attack, could you protect yourself, child? And they got a photo of a stinking, nasty, ugly mutt peeking out the crack of a wall, trying to make it look innocent. Just like that other photo I showed. You know, where they're trying to, oh, it's not the dog's fault. He was frightened and startled. Poor doggy. He mutilated your child, but it's not his fault. This really infuriates and sickens me to no end. All you dog nuts, I hope you're here. I hope you're tuning in. Your culture, your lifestyle is hated and is stupid. It's weird, cringe-worthy. And we're sick of it. Sick of you and your weirdo lifestyle. Coddling up to these breathing parasites with legs. These annoying brain-damaged mutants. They are a terror to our communities. Right? And as we all know, anytime there is an attack, they want to label it an accident. Accident. And I will not let up on the absurdity in doing that. Now, there have been some horrific attacks in the past week. 1 second here. Let me see what's going on in the chat room here. Shout out to Morpheus Christos. And shout out to Cooking with Dog Meat. Right? Cooking with Dog Meat. Right? Your contribution is very much appreciated. That is a very creative name. Right? I like it. Cooking with Dog Meat. The only good mutt is a braised one. Right? Salute. Salute. And shout out to Morpheus Christos. Western propaganda, mainly from the United States, it seems like, has brainwashed us into infatuating ourselves with nature's greatest nuisance. Isn't it fascinating? It's fascinating. You know, you would think that the human mind wouldn't fall for it. To do something so ridiculous as make friends with the most dangerous creatures on this planet. But brainwashery is very powerful, and you can obviously brainwash people against their own quality of life, lead them to their own demise, as long as you make the creature that's leading them to their demise look cute. We're going to go over that here because there was a article I just found that infuriated me to no end, and I have to share it here. Yes. So, 4-year-old boy injured by a dog. Let's listen to this, and I will come back with commentary.
Meanwhile,
okay, we got an ad. Of course, we have an ad.
How many
Okay, and this is dragging. Okay, let me see if I can refresh this. I need to figure out a way to block these stupid ads.
Mrs. Baird's Bread is teaming up with
Okay,
local
we're
food
gonna
banks
let
to
this
fight
one
Texas
ride
hunger,
out.
donating thousands of loaves of bread this summer.
And how
you
many
can help
people
too.
heard about
Throughout
the
June,
boy
look for
who was
displays at area
mauled and
grocery
killed
stores and scan the QR code to
after
make a
he
direct
fell out of
donation
the
to your
window?
local food bank. Together, we
I
can make a
couldn't believe
difference
that. I
fighting
just read
Texas
that
hunger.
for the first time
Meanwhile, a
maybe an
little
hour
boy
ago.
is in serious condition tonight after two dogs attack him at a family member's house. The attack happened just after 4 this afternoon on Ray Leck near Talley and Wiseman. A Bexar County sergeant tells us that the little boy had multiple injuries and was rushed to the hospital, but is expected to recover. The sheriff's office also says a family member owns the dogs and it appears to be an accident. Animal control did take the dogs, but no word yet on what will happen to those dogs.
No word yet on what will happen to the dogs, and it was labeled an accident. An accident. And you notice how they show footage of the dogs that carried out the attack, projecting the dogs as innocent. Innocent. Oh, look at the pooches. It wasn't their fault. This is sickening. This is criminal. This does not go unnoticed. All you disgusting dog nuts in the media everywhere. And look, this guy is even rubbing this nasty, wrinkled, mud-faced piece of garbage. I'm so sick of the adoration of these ugly mutants. It makes me sick. So this boy was attacked. There are far too many attacks that take place on a weekly basis for them to even keep up with. And that's just the truth. The reports that we get are just a tip of an iceberg. Now this story shocked me. Horrible, horrible dog attack. 3-year-old boy. And look at how young these kids always are. 3-year-old boy mauled to death by his parents' dogs after he fell out of a window. Right? Listen to this.
To a violent and gruesome death of a 3-year-old boy in New Jersey. The child fell from the window of his home only to be mauled to death by the family's 2 pit bulls in the backyard. The horrific scene unfolding in Elizabeth. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson has the story.
It was an awful way to die. A 3-year-old falls from a window and then is savagely bitten by the family's 2 pit bulls in a cluttered backyard. Neighbors say it was an horrendous sight as the child's mother tried to pull the dogs off the little boy.
I saw the mother. She was full of blood in her hands and a shirt. And I was like, what happened? So I came here because it was full of police. And she told me, my baby, I went to the bathroom and my baby fell out the window.
Residents say the dogs were always a terror.
Whenever I would pass by, the dogs would always bark. Like you could tell they were aggressive.
The yard where the vicious attack happened is full of dog feces, the pungent odor pulsating in the air in an area full of motorcycles and debris. Neighbors say their thoughts are with the boy who suffered such an agonizing death.
Then I went to the uncle and he said the dogs got to their neck. And then I pushed the baby out of the dogs. And still the dogs was handled to these legs. They killed the boy right then and there.
This attack is very similar to a mauling by pit bulls in Carteret back in mid-March.
Could you imagine if this was an adult human, a grown man who carried out this murder? A grown man. Let's say that man was a member of a gang or organization. And that organization specialized in killing kids. Could you imagine how the police department, FBI, and everybody would be all over that case? How they would hunt that organization down and neutralize the threat. But here with dogs, they talk about the death of a child mutilated by a mutt. They talk about it as if the dog died, as if the child died from natural causes. They say the same thing every time. All our prayers go out to the family of the child. Oh, this is terrible. Our thoughts and prayers to them. As if the child simply died from a heart attack or something. Something that just cannot be stopped, cannot be prevented. Here you, the adult, bring predators into the society, into the home, and the predator kills your kid, and you want to act like, oh, there's nothing we could do to stop it. This is some type of natural death, natural occurrence. That is going to get called out as well, non-stop. And they do this with virtually every story, every report. Oh, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. No, your laws is what needs to go out. Your legislation is what needs to go out. Your police force with equipment to cull these worthless enemies of our species, that is what needs to go out. Preventative measures is what needs to go out. We don't need your thoughts or your prayers. You can save that and show us some action. What type of sick species are we that we don't even take action to protect our youth? This is embarrassing. This is shameful. As a species, this is shameful. And it's a shame that these victims who live, it's a shame they don't have anyone speaking out for them. It's like the masses act like they don't care. Oh, well, so you're scarred for life. Oh, that's too bad. Dogs are not going anywhere. We're going to continue to sell them. No regulation. Let them come into the home. We don't care if you have kids and babies and toddlers there. That's just too bad for you. Now you're missing an arm. You're missing this. You're missing that. Oh, well. We're not doing nothing about the dog, so you're just going to have to get over it. That's really the narrative. That's the narrative with this dog cult. That's why I said that they are the most immoral people on the planet. And this is the most disgusting lifestyle on the planet. That includes all you dog nuts. I don't care if your dog has never, ever attacked anyone in its worthless life. You are supporting this culture, and all the kids who've been attacked and or killed, their blood is on your hands as well. Right? So this was horrible. And it sounds strange. How did a 3-year-old just fall out of a window? They showed the window and it had a screen.
I saw the mother.
Right? And they showed it as if the boy ripped a hole through the screen. Like what happened? That makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. Right? Where is that? Here it comes now. Now these people are nasty. They say they got a bunch of junk and garbage all out on the porch, and that it smells like dog excrement everywhere. The stench fills the air. Now, where was that image? Here it is. What is this? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? This is the window. There's a hole in that window. How in the hell did a 3-year-old baby fall out of this window. It's not like the window had no screen, and maybe the adult just left the window up and the baby crawled out the window. This window has a screen, and the screen got a hole in it. This is why I don't like people. I told you, these dog nuts are a bunch of liars. How did that happen? How did that happen? And how's a 3-year-old gonna fall out of a window like that? When you look at the stories these dog nuts give surrounding the death of babies and kids, oftentimes it is a very unbelievable story. It sounds like a lie. So I don't know what happened here, but I consider the possibility that some of these lunatics who don't care about the life of their kids actually sacrifice their kids, actually kill them. They want to start a GoFundMe. They want donations. Times are hard. We could probably make 20, 30,000 with GoFundMe. Let's sacrifice the kid. 100%, I believe some of these dog nuts are that sick. If they're sick enough to support the presence of these things, they're sick enough to do that. But that is fishy. I don't understand how this is even possible, and nobody's even questioned it. Where are the FBI? Where are the detectives? Why aren't they looking into this? A hole in the screen, and y'all telling us a baby just fell out and was mutilated by some mutts. No, that don't sound right. It sounds like another situation where these dog nuts want to take a stupid photo, want to leave their kids alone with a mutt, with a predator. And that predator did what comes natural to it, and that is mutilate, attack, for absolutely no reason. Not because it's scared, not because it's startled, or any of that stupidity. Like what this woman said. I'm going to talk about this because she really made me sick with this article that she wrote. All right, where is this? In dog attack, could you protect yourself, child? Yeah, this is the article that I talked about earlier. And she proceeded to say, I'm not afraid of dogs or out to indict any particular breed. And I realized that despite the horror periodic accounts of fatal dog attacks evoke, they are thankfully rare. Now notice, she said fatal dog attacks thankfully are rare. So that might be true, but attacks themselves are not rare. They happen quite often. And fatal dog attacks are not the only dog attacks we need to worry about. Because even when kids live, when they're not killed, they are still in critical condition. These are still attacks that need to be prevented before they happen. Said thousands of children are bitten every year. Here's another mistake. What are you talking about? Millions are bitten every year. What are you talking about? 5 million people bitten every year, over half are kids. So millions of children are bitten every. Get your language right. This is supposed to be some type of expert here. Get your language right. Thousands. You know how short she is saying thousands? What's the next step? Tens of thousands. Keep going. Hundreds of thousands. Keep going. Millions are bitten every year. Get your language right. So that infuriated me. You're going to be under the microscope all you dog nuts, you disgusting people out here who write these articles, all you veterinarians, all of you, you all in on this together. You bunch of sick, you are demonic devils on our planet. And you need to be called out as such. This was a dog nut who was attacked by his own dogs, and he got exactly what he deserved. That's what you get. Thankfully, you didn't have any kids in your home that got attacked. You, the adult, were mutilated. Good. Good. I'd like to see this happen more often, where the idiotic adult themselves are the only ones who get mutilated. I mean, this is all within the past week here, people. These stories, it get depressing sometimes. Saturday rolls around, Sunday rolls around, and, I do a lot of research, getting prepared for the live stream, and I'm just floored. The stories I read is just unbelievable stuff. So yeah, baby girl dies after a dog attack in the house. And once again, it's a 3-month-old girl. Very sad news to wake up to this morning. To hear that a 3-month-old child had lost its life in such horrible circumstances. There is no doubt that all of our thoughts and our prayers are with the family. Not just today, but indeed in the weeks and months ahead. And indeed with the people of Clashmore. And I wrote at the bottom, you think that the dog attack victims died from natural causes. You idiots. This 3-month-old died because of something you did. You bought that mutt. You brought it into the home around a 3-month-old. Acting like this some type of just natural thing that you can't stop. Well, dogs are a part of the family. We can't get rid of them. What is with these brain damaged, retarded people? They think they can just run this con game on the public and nobody calls them out. Again, get your language right. I don't want to hear nothing about your thoughts and your worthless, stupid prayers. Stop bringing these things in our society. That's the only thing that needs to be talked about. Right? Keep your prayers and keep your thoughts. Your prayers and your thoughts are not effective. There was another, where was that story at? Oh, a FedEx driver. This is crazy too. Had to get his arm amputated. This is all in the past week. FedEx driver mauled by dogs has his arm amputated following the attack. FedEx delivery driver in Illinois left with severe injuries to both legs and arms after being attacked by 2 dogs. Right? And see, like I said, my sister suggested that we, go into the delivery business. Get a FedEx truck. I don't think so. The man's left hand and wrist had to be amputated following the attack. Can you imagine? You just another day of work. You wake up in the morning, you have no idea you're about to lose your limbs that day. All because people want to bring these things into society. People want to pet and rub these nasty mutants. Right? Speaking of that, there's this video. Now this was actually written by the same woman who wrote one of these articles. Right? I want y'all to listen to this. Because this a whole bunch of stuff infuriated me. Anytime we're dealing with mutts, I'm going to get infuriated. Listen to this.
Right now, we're live in Davis. A beautiful morning for our folks out there. We'll be right back with more news, weather, traffic in a moment.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Fon, live in Davis this morning with lots of furry friends. They're all fun, they're family, pets, but to strangers, they may be a little scary. Coming up at 6, we'll take a closer look at...
So in other words, if you're not the one feeding them, they're going to attack you. So something like that has no business in our society. Period.
How we can keep pets safe for strangers and family.
What do you mean keep pets safe? Nobody care about keeping them safe. The only ones we need to worry about keeping safe is our youth. That makes me sick as well. When these brain damaged dog nuts talk about keep pets safe when it's only the dogs that carry out the attack. When an attack happens, it's never the humans mutilating the mutt. So get your language. These people are so deceptive. You can't even get through 2 full sentences from these lunatics without hearing something totally absurd.
Next, we'll take a closer look at how we can keep pets safe for strangers and family.
And look how she keep rubbing on it. Stop touching that damn thing. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these people? You ever noticed that?
Keep pets safe for
they just can't stop rubbing on these things.
They're all fun, they're family, pets, but to strangers,
look at it. You can tell something wrong with her brain.
Scary.
This
Coming
woman got brain damage.
6, we'll take a closer look at how we can keep pets safe for strangers and family.
Rubbing that. What are you? Why are you doing that, woman? Won't you just stop? Stop rubbing the thing. What's wrong with you? Y'all gonna have to help me out. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with them? Let me mute this woman. She's infuriating me. And she just can't stop rubbing this nasty mute.
And a live look out in Davis, dog bite prevention. Suzanne Fon standing by with the story on how you can watch out for Fido trying to get your finger.
So this is dog bite prevention from this woman. So I think she's Chinese American.
Yeah, you know, it may be a funny story for some folks, but not for everyone. I know there are a lot more people out there who actually have been bitten by a dog. And so with that, we want to address that concern this morning, even though...
Again, bitten by a dog. Get your language right. People have been mutilated, tortured. That's not a bite. I can bite someone. No, these things are tearing people to shreds, torturing them. Get your language right.
Next week is
you deranged dog nuts. See, this is what makes me sick about these people. They're so manipulative. These people are straight up liars. They live in a delusional world. Totally detached from reality.
National Dog Bite Prevention Week. This morning, I'm with Dr. Sophia Yin. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how often is it that someone is bitten by a dog?
Well, yearly about 47 million people are bitten by dogs, and about 1,000 people a day visit the emergency room due to dog bites.
It's a lot. This is Jonesy here, and Jonesy's never bitten anyone.
No.
An important thing is for people to understand that dogs react to people differently.
Right. A lot of dogs are actually afraid of unfamiliar people. And a lot of dogs are really afraid of kids. So whereas they...
So right away, what do? When they want to talk about dog bite prevention? As soon as the lesson starts, what do? Take the blame off of the dog. Well, the dogs are afraid. They're afraid of strangers. They're afraid of kids. That's why they attack. It's not the dog's fault. Poor doggy. Look, all you dog nuts, you new to this channel, this is why your lifestyle is hated. This is why your character is hated. Because you all engage in this type of behavior. All dog nuts adopt this manipulative, honest, these narratives and talking points. They all participate in taking blame off of the aggressors, which is the dogs themselves.
Actually afraid of unfamiliar people. And a lot of dogs are really afraid of kids. So whereas
Them mutts ain't afraid of no kids. They bully kids. They will run across the street and maul a kid. What are you talking about? We've seen several video footages of kids minding their business. Out of nowhere, here comes a mutt. She wants us to believe these dogs are actually afraid of the kids. So that's why they run several yards to maul a kid because it was scared. I'm so sick of these people bending over backwards with these ridiculous stories, all in their pathetic, subhuman, inhumane attempt to take the blame off of child murderers, child predators. We should have no mercy on these mutants. Right here in the United States, we should be culling these nasty
things.
things.
They're seeing a human face when they see you. What they really see is something more like this.
That's why that person has a mask on this morning. So to clarify once again, a dog might...
If a dog sees something scary like this, then that is a problem in that dog's brain. They don't try to make me understand or be able to relate to a mutt that's scared of everything and scared of everybody. Like that's supposed to be understandable and acceptable. No, it's not. Especially when this thing is deadly. And this is not always the case anyway. As we all know, dogs bully just to bully. They try to what? Establish dominance, predatory instinct, predatory drive. It's not scared. It's trying to scare you. That's why they bark and lunge. They're the only ones out here trying to scare other organisms. Nobody's scaring these mutts. These people, once again, making excuses. These people are enablers. Enablers. And they are guilty. They are just as criminal. They're, of course, even more criminal than the dogs themselves.
See someone like this.
Right, so you think they see a normal human face, but to them they look really scary. And then when the scary person reaches forward to let them sniff them, it seems very threatening.
Oh, so people get attacked because you put your hand out to let the dog sniff them. So all these video feeds that we've seen, all this film that we've seen, where kids mind their own business and they just get attacked, these are rare cases, and the majority of the time attacks are carried out is because they reach their hand out, stop. These people are these pieces of trash. Only a piece of trash would try to lie and take up and defend organisms that mutilate their kids. Only dogs mutilate kids. Nothing else on this planet does that. And these people defend dogs more than they defend anything else on the planet.
So they may bite if they're really scared.
For people who don't have pets or don't have dogs, that's actually a nice way to illustrate that, dogs can look at people in different ways. So with that being said, what should we do?
Well, number one, we should also realize that a lot of dogs, they may be okay like people, but they don't want you to go up and go, hi, how cute are your cheeks, or pat, pat, pat.
Oh, so here you go. What is she saying? She's saying that this is why dogs attack. Well, you're violating it. You're going up to it. You're touching it. No, people are minding their own business. And you see these people, they don't want to deal with these types of attacks, which are the most prevalent. Attacks that take place with people minding their own business. No, nobody's bothering them much. They don't want to deal with that. They want to make up some imaginary scenario. They're always living in their imagination. That's why they talk to the mutts. Talking about it loves them. Everything their entire relationship with these dogs is imagination, fantasy land. And the same applies to these dog bite prevention I think she's an actual veterinarian.
Hey, who's this? Because they don't know you. So what you want to do is...
They don't know you. What are you talking about, woman? Most dog attacks are carried out by the family dog. The victims are usually people that the dog lives with. You trying to suggest that most dog attacks are from strangers? Stop. What is this woman talking about? As always, never fails, these people open their mouth and nothing but a bunch of dog crap comes out.
You want to first ask the owner, can I pet your dog? And then you want to ask the
First, ask the owner if I can pet your dog. As if the dog knows that you asked the owner first. It don't matter if you ask the owner or just walk up to it. The dog don't know. So what's the point? If some idiot sitting there with a mutt on the leash and says, oh, can I pet your dog? Sure, go ahead. There's nothing that's going to guarantee that dog ain't going to attack me. What's the point in asking somebody to pet that worthless mutt first? The real problem is the presence of these things. It's nothing to do with how you reach your hand out to let it sniff your hand, all this nonsense. These are unstable, aggressive, dysfunctional mutants, and they do not belong in our society.
Dog, and here's how you ask the dog. You get down at the dog's level, and then you put your hand out just a little bit.
So, again, this is dog bite prevention tutorial from an expert. And the only thing she wants to talk about is, hey, you got to ask the dog's owner. Observe the dog. Look for the signs of aggression. Or they always show signs before they attack. Don't hug it. See, you hug the dog. That's why it attacked you. Oh, you reached for the dog. That's why it attacked you. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. They run this game on the public and they don't get called out.
You want to be far enough away from the dog so that they can choose to come to you if they want. And as you can see, that he doesn't really care.
Okay. So very quickly, on the screen, we have got some tips. Number 1, ask the owner.
Right.
Number 2, ask the dog.
Right.
And number 3, don't...
Even if the dog's friendly, don't hug the dog.
Don't hug the dog.
Right.
Don't overwhelm the dog.
Dogs don't like being hugged. Some may tolerate it, but they don't like it.
Don't get in their space.
Right.
Okay. With that being said, Jonesy has other things to do. He's off, and so is our dog over here. So thanks, guys.
So the tutorial was over. That's it. She wanted to give a tutorial on how to prevent dog attacks. And the only thing she wanted to deal with was what you're doing. You bring the attack onto yourself. You violate the dog. That's why dogs attack. This is so insulting. This is insulting, man. Here we have babies being mutilated in their sleep. Just this past week, I've just talked about a few stories where 3-month-old babies are being attacked. Why aren't you talking about those situations? Where's your tutorial about those? Y'all notice? She completely, all of them, it's not just her, all of these dog people, they completely ignore the most frequent types of attack. You got kids, 3 months old, 4-year-olds. What about them? Like I said, they don't have anybody speaking out for them. These attack victims, they hear people like this, and they cannot help but to reflect on the fact that this doesn't apply to me. I was attacked, and I wasn't doing anything to that mutt. I didn't hug that mutt. It's minding my own business. But they want to live. This is criminal behavior. 100% criminal behavior. It is so dishonest. Dog bite prevention. Dogs bite when humans greet them inappropriately. Now, that woman who conducted that tutorial, she wrote this. She wrote, can you believe that? Can you believe this piece of filth wrote this nonsense? Dog bite prevention. Dogs bite when humans greet inappropriately. Incredible. I can't even remember the number of videos I've shown right here on this channel of people, kids minding their business. Sometimes they didn't even know the dog was there until they were being attacked. All these videos, and she wants to tell us something else. No, you greeted the dog inappropriately. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Now, like I said, I'm not exaggerating. These people are out of their mind. We're dealing with a group of people who are completely out of their minds. These people are nuts. Now, I got this post. I thought it was worth repeating. Got it off of Dog Free. Victim blaming. And that's all this woman was doing. She was 100% engaged in blaming the victim. Said the victim blaming is out of hand. According to Nutters, everyone must know exactly how to behave if dogs are in the vicinity. Your movements, your volume, your body language can never upset a dog. Otherwise, it's your fault for getting attacked. This is the mentality of these dog lovers. He continued, he said, and of course, you must be able to adjust to each individual dog's preferences. You should just instinctively know what might upset a particular dog and behave accordingly. No places are just for humans. If a dog is on the beach, a playground, an airplane, restaurant, patio, its needs come first. And any misstep resulting in being attacked, it's your fault. Yet, dogs are perfect beings who are better than people because they are so pure and good. Yet they will nearly kill someone, a child, for making a noise. You understand that, dog nuts? See, y'all think that all humans are as dumb as you. You want to run your narratives. You want to run this game on everybody. You think everybody's just supposed to accept it. No, there's some of us out here who see exactly what you're doing, what you're into. Now, this was uploaded this week in honor of Dog Bite Prevention or Dog Bite Awareness Week, right? It's less than a minute long. So let me play this real quick.
Can you picture a member of your family attacking a mail carrier? Of course not. But with dogs, it happened. Last year, over 5,800 dog bites happened. The Postal Service places the safety of its employees as a top priority and dedicates a week each year to dog bite awareness. Dog attacks are 100% preventable when dog owners remain vigilant and properly restrain their dogs. To ensure mail carrier safety, dog owners must securely lock their dog in another room until a delivery exchange is done. If outside, dogs must be leashed away from the mailbox. So please, keep your dog on that.
What a bunch of brain-damaged creatures. Just the behavior of dogs infuriate me. Seriously. The way they threaten anything that moves, at the window, barking at people walking by on the sidewalk, always threatening, barking, lunging at any and everybody. That infuriates me. This is our territory. This is our territory, not yours, you worthless, mutated mutt. We don't owe dogs anything. We are not obligated to augment our behavior just for their comfort or to make them comfortable. And this is what these people expect out of us. No, don't waste your time expecting that from me or anyone like me. Your nuttery is completely out of control. It is time that a real movement takes place and that these people feel our presence. They get off on endangering everybody in society, as we all know. They like to see you get scared. They get off on inviting you into their home, knowing that they have a dog that they didn't tell you about, knowing as soon as you walk through the door, that mutt is going to pounce on you. They get off on it. They get off on walking their vicious mutants on the sidewalk and seeing you frightened. They get off on it. And they get off on endangering kids. That's exactly why they take photos of kids alone with dogs. This delusional train of thought, suicidal sociopaths out here who are just free and protected. That's the huge problem. These people's behavior is protected. There was another story that broke. Where is that story? I have to find this. Here it is. Here it is. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that too. These people, they're completely nuts. It's not safe. Mom speaks out after dog attacks her 10-year-old twice. So this mutt next door attacked this girl not once, but twice. Now listen to this. I think we got an ad coming. So we're going to deal briefly with how the public responds to these dog attacks, equally as criminal. Matter of fact, they help to carry out the attacks. They enable and they give the dogs every opportunity to attack and attack repeatedly. Listen to this.
But because of the way she reported the incident tonight, a Knox County mother is speaking out after her daughter was attacked twice by a neighbor's dog. But because of the way she reported the incidents, the Knox County Sheriff's Office only issued a warning to the dog's owner. 10 News reporter Grace King explains.
So this girl was attacked twice, and the owners only got a warning.
The dog jumps up and rips her shirt.
Jennifer Zelke says this is the second time that Blake, a tan and brown heeler type dog, has attacked her 10-year-old daughter Kylie. The first happened in January.
The dog opened the door, chased my daughter down, and bit her under her eye, her left eye.
But
Listen. Let me stop there. That would be a dead dog. That would be a dead dog. There is nothing to negotiate. It's nothing to talk about. I don't like the way people respond to helpless kids being attacked.
KCSO says that incident was never reported to them because she called the wrong number. The Zelkis live in the Powell area of Knox County, but reported it to the city.
Nobody ever showed up.
So when the dog chased Kylie again in April, KCSO made their first contact with the owners and issued a verbal warning.
To tell me that it's suitable for a dog to chase down a child and then give them a verbal warning is ridiculous.
KCSO's
unbelievable. So what's the real solution? The real solution is to not have dogs in our society.
Says they understand the mother's concern, but that this appears to be a, quote, fixable situation and that the response was typical as long as the owner was able to make corrections within the given time frame.
What? So what does this tell you? That the police officers themselves, law enforcement, everyone, they're dog nuts as well. See, these dog nuts have infiltrated law enforcement. They're lawyers, they're judges. And you can tell by how they give these dog owners a slap on the wrist, if that, even after their dog attacks a toddler, a 10-year-old girl.
And the mother's concern, but that this appears to be a, quote, fixable situation and that the response was typical as long as the owner was able to make corrections within the given time frame. I'm Grace King.
A fixable situation. How can it be fixed? You're going to reform the dog owner? Are you going to set up shop so you can keep an eye on the dog owner, make sure they're doing their job, restraining the mutt? How is it fixable? A bunch of pointless babble that they throw out there simply to protect the presence of the dog. That's all they care about. They want to ensure that the dog is unharmed, that it's not euthanized, that it can continue to live in that home with its owner. So these people look out for each other, and they help to reinforce the presence of the dogs, which will reinforce the danger that the community is in, particularly our youth. Our youth. So this is a very dangerous culture. This group of people is like none other on this planet. And you have to wonder how much dogs have to do in order to wake the masses up. What more do they have to do? They're already mutilating your babies. Mutilating your babies. And that's not enough. These lunatics actually pamper the dogs even more. I'm telling you, with each new story that surfaces, these dog nuts go even harder with their dog nuttery. They become even bigger dog nuts. Unbelievable stuff. I've been reporting all dog ads. Wait a minute, what? Okay. You've been reporting the dog ads? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Why would a stupid, crazy mutt open the door? Just to bully. Yeah, dogs open doors all the time. All the time. And you notice, the bigger the dog, the more aggressive the dog, the more worthless the owner. It's usually some scrawny owner that has no control. The dog basically runs the home. And this is pretty common in the homes of dog nuts. The owner has absolutely no control. I showed that video a while ago it's still on my channel somewhere, where the guy actually named the video My dog the boss. My dog the boss. And he showed a video of his dog bullying him, forcing him to give it some doggy treats. Now, the experts told you, remember? They said those are the most dangerous types of dogs because they feel like they're the alpha, like they're the leader of the pack. So in many of these dog homes, the dog feels like the leader. So yeah, they will bolt out of the front door. They will do whatever they want to do. And their idiotic, worthless owners won't think anything of it. In their mind, as long as the dog doesn't attack them, then it won't attack anybody else. Oh, it's not a problem. Oh, it doesn't bite. No, it just doesn't bite you, idiot, because you feed it. But you cannot talk logic to these lunatics. You just can't. Say a dog killed a child in Norway recently. Have to look into that. You know, they always like to say that fatal dog attacks are rare. But you notice it's always just Americans that they're talking about. They never try to give statistics globally, right? Because it's somewhere, say 40 to 50 in the United States. But can you imagine the global number? You know, if it's a few hundred, it would seem immoral to say that this is rare or somehow, oh, thankfully, this is rare. So they avoid a lot of information. They avoid a lot of facts to protect the image of dogs. This is very criminal activity that they're engaged in. They knowingly set the dog loose on the public. They know that a certain amount of people are going to be attacked by these dogs, and they don't care. When the dog actually attacks, they start to defend the dog and blame the victim. And this is creepy, scary type of criminality we're talking about here. Shout out to Captain Levy. I've seen some of their dogs on the beach. Yeah. Now, I don't even go to beaches. But there's no way I'd be out on the beach. There's some mutts out there. What are dogs doing at the beach anyway? Shout out to DB Cooper. Said, I'd love to help you with your research. Recently, I received my BA in comparative literature. I was especially thinking about investigating the socioeconomic implications of these mutants. Yes, that would help a lot. Any and every amount of information, right? If it's useful, enlightening, I will share it on this channel. As many videos as I have, I'm really just getting started still. You know, the channel subscription count is slowly growing. The videos themselves are averaging a higher number of views. But when you compare my numbers with like the doo-doo, is that how you pronounce it? The doo-doo? I just saw a video before I got online here. It had like 3-4 million views in less than a month. As soon as a dog video is uploaded, these dog nuts, they swarm all over them. It's like a drug. You notice that? That dogs are like a drug to these people. Think about it. You got 4 million views in only about 2 or 3 weeks. These people are obsessed with child killers.
Tonight, a Knox County mother is speaking out after her daughter was attacked twice.
Okay. And that infuriates me to no end. We should hate these things. We should hate their guts. We should hate them with every drop of blood in our veins because of how they prefer to attack our kids. Babies, toddlers, they mutilate our youth every single day. To admire and adore these creatures is flat out criminal. Now, I got this article from a YouTube channel. What is that channel? I think it's Worthless Mutts. 15 photos of pit bulls that will make you fall in love with them. Subtitle is Pit Bulls Have a Reputation for Being an Aggressive Breed. Listen to this. But these photos of pit bulls will prove that they are as sweet as any other pup in the park. People, you cannot make this up. I highlighted it. You cannot make this up. I've always believed that this is how they think. That they look at photos and make a finalization. They feel like they can determine the dog's temperament based on a photo. And here, this idiot, this brain dead dog nut, actually said it in words. These photos of pit bulls will prove that they are harmless. This is what they believe. I mean, get a load of this insanity. I was not being sarcastic when I said we're dealing with a bunch of people who are out of their minds. These people are plumb nuts. These are dangerous people, and we have to protect ourselves from them. So these photos of pit bulls is supposed to prove that pit bulls are harmless. Look at what this idiot wrote. Quote, "Look at how happy this good dog is playing on the beach." You cannot make this up. You cannot make this stuff up, people. Can you believe this? Are you serious? Look at how happy this good dog is playing on the beach. So by this photo alone, we're supposed to conclude that this is a harmless dog. So, I know a lot of people, they think I'm just trying to be mean to dog lovers. No, these people are truly out of their minds. These are dangerous brain damaged people. Come on, that tongue is too cute. Got the camera all up in this ugly mutant's face. Who can resist this crooked smile? Dogs don't smile. They don't smile. That's just that mutt. Its face taking the shape of its dysfunctional brain. Its mutated, raggedy, nasty face is just a reflection of how mutated and raggedy its brain is. Nothing special. These things are enemies. They are the only creatures that mutilate our kids. They don't deserve any admiration, any love, any food, any shelter. They don't deserve nothing but euthanization. That's what they deserve. You should have never brought them into existence in the first place. They are impossibly adorable. And I hate the wordplay of these dog nuts. Impossibly adorable as puppies. What? Sounds like a bunch of people who are out of their minds. These people are plumb nuts. You never know when they might make some funny faces. There's nothing funny about that ugly mutant. Nothing. All I see is ugliness, nastiness. And for dog nuts to get off on the appearance of these things is cringe worthy. Cringe worthy. You believe these people actually keep photos like this in their phone? And they will want to show you the photos of these ugly, brain damaged, saggy, wrinkled face mutants? And want to tell you that they're adorable and beautiful? If you want a dog that loves to walk, these pooches are always eager and happy to go for a walk outside. I don't need to walk with no mutt. I can walk by myself just fine. I don't need no stupid mutt sniffing around taking a dump that I'm supposed to pick up, urinating on people's property. There's nothing uplifting about that. The stupidity and brainlessness of these people, I mean, it perfectly matches the brainlessness of these mutants. It's almost as if dog nuts become just as dumb as the dogs, just as brainless and animalistic as the dogs themselves. That's why they start to have intercourse with the dogs. Like I said before, they stoop down to the level of dogs. These dog nuts make themselves primitive. They stoop to the level of a dog, the filthiest, lowest animal on the planet. The dog cannot stoop to the level of a human. So you stoop down and let the dog lick you as if you yourself are a dog. Right? You let it into your home and live with you as if you yourself are a dog. You kiss it. You rub on it as if you're a dog yourself. That's why you can't date these people, can't touch these people. You got to stay away from these people. Be warned, pit bulls love to lick their favorite humans. The delusion is real. The delusion is real. And what really infuriates me, these are the only child killers on the planet. Not humans or no other animal specializes in mutilating kids, but dogs. And these are the same creatures that you exalt above all other animals. This is the most disgusting, immoral group of people on our planet. Dog lovers. Dog lovers. This is repulsive behavior. So they want to dress these ugly, good for nothing other than being euthanized mutants. They want to dress them up. They want to take these stupid photos and project these killers as harmless little rabbits. And what do you see here? What do you see here? You just heard that lady say dogs don't like to be hugged. You heard another expert say never leave kids alone with dogs. This child is alone and hugging a pit bull. This is how many of these kids get killed and mutilated. It's orchestrated by the adults, the supervisors, and they don't want to admit to this. They don't want to admit that they tried to prop the baby with the dog and leave them alone. So they'll say, oh, well, I stepped out of the room. Oh, I just left the room for 2 minutes. Oh, the baby fell out of the window. I don't know how that hole appeared in the screen that the baby fell out of, but that's what happened. Criminal. These people are criminals. Look, these good-natured dogs are always happy when they are in a loving home. Actually suggested that by nature, these things are good-natured. These things were literally bred for fighting. It's in their genes to kill, to attack, and to not stop attacking until it's killed its victim. By nature, these things are aggressive and will snap without warning. They kill and attack kids every day. They have killed, mutilated, and attacked hundreds of kids in the past. And they're going to sit here and call these same creatures good-natured. Unbelievable stuff. No matter how often I go over the insanity of these dog nuts, I never fully wrap my head around it. Never. It always infuriates me every single time. It will never feel normal, ever. So this is criminal, and we need a dog culling in this country. That is what we need. Let's just briefly deal with the real solution, something that will work. Thoughts and prayers is not going to work. Hasn't worked yet. Hasn't done anything. My UFC fight prediction channel is WMMA Addict. Yeah, a lot of people found it already. Dog nutters, they're a different breed of human. These are brain damaged people. And I seriously consider the possibility that they are infested with parasites, worms, parasites, whatever, and it alters their brains. I think it literally makes them more dog-like themselves. They become more like dogs themselves. I seriously consider that, because this is next level insanity. But think about it. Other organisms, they don't do that. They don't endanger their youth. They don't bring predators around their youth. This is next level. This is suicidal behavior. When someone is suicidal, you automatically assume something's wrong with them. What's wrong? Yes, it could be socially influenced, but it could be parasitic. Could be biological as well. Keep in mind, they have these mind-controlling parasites. They do exist. Now, if there is something like that where the dog owners are being manipulated, their thoughts are being manipulated by parasites from the dog, these scientists are not going to make that information public. No. It will cause the dog industry to crumble. So the worst possible things associated with dogs, you have to imagine, are kept secret to protect the dog industry. So you can't even trust these people's experts most of the time. They're going to keep a whole bunch of stuff away from the public. So it's our responsibility to get down to the true nature, their true impact on our planet and on our society. These things have a negative impact on every facet of our existence. Negative impact on our relationship with our kids, with our husband and wife, friends and family. Negative impact on our health. I still firmly believe that if we were to get rid of dogs, we would not get sick nearly as often, probably wouldn't get sick at all. And I'm talking about common colds and flus. Negative impact on our health. Negative impact on the planet itself with its toxins and parasites they leave everywhere. Negative impact on the cleanliness, the sanitation level of our home, our very home. Your home is supposed to be a palace. You're supposed to protect your home. And these nasty people let these parasites into their home. Our lungs. Dogs literally contaminate our lungs, our respiratory system. You have to imagine that our physical brain is being affected by these things in some way, that our brain is physically being affected. Here, these things, we're inhaling the waste from dogs. That's right, dog nuts. You inhale waste from dogs. Their dander is saturated with saliva, urine, and feces. And you breathe that in all day, all day. Our entire outer body also contaminated with waste. Think about that. When I talk about the home, the body of dog nuts being contaminated, it's contaminated with the waste from the dogs. It's not just fur, it's waste. So I seriously consider the possibility that their brains are also affected. And I know for a fact their immune system is affected. And on top of all that, these people have intercourse with these things. They allow these things to lick them in the face, to lick their babies, lick their kids. This is a serious problem we have here. You have to wonder, when will your level of decency increase? When will your basic humanity kick in? When will you feel disgusted by bringing such a vile, nasty creature into your home? Will it ever happen? Dogs have the nastiest, most toxic mouths of all animals on the planet. That's a fact. The proof is there. When you see a human who needs his or her limbs cut off simply because a dog licked them, you're dealing with a vile, nasty, cursed, disgusting, demonic creature that has no place in our society whatsoever. It may take long. It may take longer than we will be here on this planet. I might not be around to see it. But the truth will prevail. Humans are going to snap out of this. Something this crazy, bizarre, and backwards cannot last. It cannot last. The human species is too powerful and intelligent for something like this to be long-lived. And I cannot wait until it happens. Even though I won't be here, I will rest in peace, knowing that I helped to bring that era about. Even if it's just a little bit. We have to put our foot down and stand up for our species. We're the only species that fails to protect our species. Other species protect their existence with their very life in every way possible to the fullest of their capabilities. And it's only humans who do the exact opposite. This has to stop. Yeah, Romans used to train mutts. So disgusting. Yeah, I've heard it. I'm starting to wonder if dogs actually used to be wolves. Like, I'm not sure. Like, why are wolves still here? I don't know. But wolves, at least they mind their business. They don't, infiltrate human territory. They're not out here barking. The dogs just seem like a totally different breed. Very similar to wolves, but they're so much more dysfunctional. Their behavior is so unnatural. One thing I do know is they are mutants. I made a whole video breaking it down, talking about their mutations. Undeniable. And mutants, they don't belong on the planet. That's a fact. That's not even a personal belief. Yes. Dogs, and you notice dogs throughout history have been used for evil. To attack people. They sick dogs on people. Right? Evil. Why? Something is good-natured. You can't use it to carry out such evil. It's because dogs, by nature, are evil. Like I said, these are demonic creatures. I seriously believe that demonic spirits can take control of dogs. It's like a channel for the spirits. And they can actually materialize in the flesh only through dogs. Right? It's serious. It's deep. Yeah, I don't co-sign with eating dog. Well, I don't eat meat at all. I don't eat meat or dairy. But a lot of people out here, they eat pig. They eat every other animal. I mean, if you're going to eat animals, you may as well eat the most problematic, the most toxic of all. I mean, pigs are toxic too. If you're going to eat toxic food, get rid of these mutts. Put them on a grill. Yeah, you know something else I saw, people? I'm telling y'all, we dealing with some nasty, nasty people. Let me show y'all something here. I saw this the other day and I could not believe it. I still can't believe it. How many of you have seen this? Now, I'm going to safely assume that people who support my channel don't do this. But there are people out here who straight up eat raw meat. This man is eating raw hamburger meat. And people, there's a lot of this going on. It's not just ground beef. These people eat raw steak, raw pork chop. They literally eat carcasses. Carcasses. Now I'm just assuming that these are mostly dog nuts. If not all dog nuts, man. This seemed like some dog nuttery to me. This man opens it. Look.
On your mark, game face. Get set, Marge Simpson face. Wow, Leonardo.
Look at this.
I'm gonna go for 2 minutes. Don't ever try any of my stunts. I'm a professional idiot. Too nice.
That's raw hamburger meat, people. That is raw ground beef. That's literally carcass. Can you believe that? Do you know how many worms these idiots have in their body?
Hi, I'm Wendy Marshall, and I enjoy eating raw meat.
This just illustrates how much people don't care about
In other
themselves.
cultures, it's their everyday life.
You really have to not
Hi,
care
I'm
about
Wendy Marshall,
yourself
and I enjoy eating
to
raw
carry
meat.
out this type of behavior.
In other cultures,
This woman is eating
it's their
a raw
everyday life.
steak.
Like, that's what they do. They have a big variety of meats, insects. But here in America, when I do it, people find it odd, weird. People come at me very negatively. But it's just something that I enjoy.
Oh, she has
always,
a dog.
Like if they were cooking hamburgers
You can
or
tell
like
she
a
got a
steak, they would always just give me a piece, and it just became the normal.
So when she was a kid, she would go into the kitchen when her mother was cooking, and her mother would give her some raw hamburger meat to eat. And she's been doing
It was always
ever
just
since.
normal for me.
I had no idea there were so many people in the world who eat raw meat. This is unbelievable.
for dinner, so she's until I would say
she's
I
sitting up
got
here
into
eating
like middle school, high school.
raw hamburger meat with her
and
mother.
I would do it around my friends.
People, get on YouTube, type it in yourself. You're going to see an endless number of videos of people eating raw hamburger meat. Raw meat, period. There's a couple of them on here eating raw pork chops. Raw pork chops. You can't tell me this ain't no dog owner. Look at his house. Look at him. This dude is a dog nut. I guarantee you that. And this goes right in line with how they don't care about themselves.
Too salty.
Why would you do that?
Raw beef steak.
Just don't care about worms. Don't care about your look at how many people. This dude is washing it down with milk. Washing it down with milk. I mean, this is startling footage. I can't believe they allowed this on YouTube. Yes, you are a dog nut, you idiot. Washing it down with milk. Like I said, the scariest part about this is that there is an endless. Look, here's a dog right here. You see that? So in the videos where these lunatics are eating raw meat, here's a dog. What did I tell you? These are dog nuts. Every one of these nasty pieces of filth, every one of them is a dog nut. And it just further proves we're dealing with a group of people who are plumb nuts, completely out of their minds. Like, look at this nasty piece of filth right here. He's look like he's eating a pork chop.
Some studies suggest that the process of cooking meat may reduce the content of certain vitamins and minerals.
Oh,
Other
yeah,
raw
sure.
meat enthusiasts
Of course you'd say that.
Piece of raw game you would struggle to chew
raw
it.
steak.
It would be
Why
like
would you do that?
gum, and
Would any of you eat a
just
raw
be
carcass
chewing forever.
on the side of the road?
And it doesn't get any.
So this dude eating liver. Raw liver. So I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating, people, when I say we're dealing with a bunch of insane people. A bunch of insane. Now you can imagine what I think about this, seeing that I don't even eat cooked meat or dairy. These people eating organs. Raw, uncooked liver. These are dog nuts. Rest assured. So it's not up for debate anymore. Crusaders, we're dealing with lunatics. We're dealing with a bunch of nasty, insane people. And we have to always be mindful of that. And we cannot give these people the benefit of the doubt. Do not make them feel like they're normal. They are not. They are not. These people are from the depths of hell. The depths of hell. And it's criminal how they raise their kids to be the same way. That girl just said that it started when she was a kid. Her parent gave her some raw hamburger meat. And in this video right here, this piece of filth got this little girl out here eating that stuff too. I believe it's more than one. It's multiple kids out here participating in this filth. I can't even look at that. Not going to look at that. So these people carry all kind of worms. They carry worms from their mutt, which is specific types of worms, parasites, and they carry worms from the raw meat they eat. That's why I say you don't touch these people. Don't kiss them. You cannot be in a relationship with them. Not if you care about yourself. Right? So that's all I can look at. If you want to look at more footage of that, go ahead and knock yourself out. So we have to just be mindful that something needs to be done. Yeah, I went down a nasty rabbit hole. Yeah, that was because I just saw it. Like I just found these videos a couple days ago. I couldn't believe it. And at first I thought, oh, okay, this is just like 2 or 3 videos. And the longer I scrolled down, the more videos I saw. I'm telling you, there's an endless number of videos. People just eating raw meat. And I'm telling you, these are dog nuts. These are absolute dog nuts. They go right in with their mentality of not caring about themselves whatsoever. Yeah, COVID super spreaders. We wonder where all these crazy diseases come from. Well, you got people out here licking dogs, having sex with dogs, and eating raw meat. Right? You might want to start there. You want to do your investigation. These people are contaminating the human species itself with their nasty, primitive lifestyle. We have to start calling this out. These are dog nuts, man. 100%. Yes, it makes you feel like humanity is doomed. And I don't like to feel that way, but it feels like I tell myself that all the time, like there's no hope. There's no hope. There's no way the human species is going to be able to turn around from this. They're too far gone in the wrong direction. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. Yes, dog culture will always send you into nasty rabbit holes. Yeah, and that was just one rabbit hole. The other rabbit hole is what? Them having intercourse with the dogs. Them allowing their dog to have intercourse with their children. You all know it happens. You know it happens. There's no limitation to their disgustingness. Because that's what I said. When you start to embrace insanity, stupidity, There's no limit. It's going to stretch into any other realm as well. You're going to do a whole bunch of stuff this backwards. So you have to stop these people. You got to stop them now. You have to call these people out right now and protect yourself. So that is the sermon for today, Crusaders. I want to thank everybody who joined, contributed to the Crusader Ministries today. People, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Carry real weapons. Be prepared for these mutants. They are everywhere outside right now. Do not be a victim. Do not become another statistic. Right? Until next time, we will continue with this ruthless crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.